All right.
Why do I yawn now?
Mm. One no one joke. That's all I ask for.
Have I yawned?
All I ask for is one normal freaking intro to one of these episodes.
Dude, I couldn't have I yawned.
See what I deal with.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Graveyard Shift. I know I'm off. Shut it. I'm your host, Hayden. This is my co-host, Graham. Say hello.
We are doing.
That's not hello.
We are doing.
I'm gonna miss the lights. Keep talking. I'm messing with the lights.
We are doing. What is it called? Wasting zombies or Aaah Zombies?
I don't remember which.
No, it's both.
It's both? Oh, okay.
Yes. Um. YouTube says wasting zombies, but
Well,
IMDb says Aaah
I was gonna
Zombies.
say, I know I've seen the DVD of Aaah Zombies because
Yeah.
I got one of the family video still thing.
I've never heard of this movie till you told me like what a week ago.
I watched it back in like middle school or high school.
Um, I have no clue how to do the description for this one. I have absolutely.
You might need to watch it again.
It's not that. It's just like I don't know. It
You
was.
like zombie movies. I pitched a zombie movie for you.
Oh, this was a great zombie movie. I
Okay.
love this. I just don't know how to write in description for this.
A whole
So
bunch of dead people walk around. That's all you gotta do.
no, this was 7 out of 10. Like this was good. I love zombie movies. Um,
I bet you if I showed one of our friends, he would have probably just like, "What the hell are you making me watch?"
Zach.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I could see him acting like that. Yeah, I'm also out of frame.
Yes, you are.
I'm also like not really sitting comfortably.
Well, you are in a more awkward position than I am.
Well, also because I have my footrest up for my
If you
leg.
need to scoot over, scoot over.
No, it's just because of my leg.
Mhm.
Both of us are injured for this one.
You more than I.
Yeah, but you have your.
No, that's because of a muscle cramp. This is the hand that I broke. This is the hand that had the knife wound in it.
Forgot about that. Forgot about
Yeah,
that.
that's the cut muscle is what's spazzing right now.
And then I have my sprained knee.
Yeah, which you what was it again? You slipped on ice?
Ice. Throwing something away, the smallest patch of ice at work.
Yeah, how do you miss? How do you not see a small patch of ice?
Because it was like
Like
slightly.
black ice?
I'm not sure, but it was also like right next to the dumpster too. So like it was hard to see because of that.
You probably slipped on black ice.
It could have been, most likely, yeah. But anyway, it's a lot better today.
Okay.
So, are zombies or wasting away? I don't know. I just don't know what.
Just I say go by the DVD
So, are
version. So
zombies?
Zombies.
I think part of the description because I did start like writing some of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have wasting zombies or are zombies. So I have it as both.
I mean, for YouTube, it's wasting away,
Yeah.
but I remember it getting a family videos off.
So,
It's nothing more than an indie film.
um, yeah, this was very indie. Yeah, I mean, you could.
The quality of it was,
I'm very bad at telling green screen stuff. It's just something I don't have a good trait of.
yeah, I could
And
point out every green screen that was shown.
yeah, well, no, I could tell the green screens inside this movie. That's like how low budget it was. I mean, it was good.
It's better than Thanksgiving,
Dude, the whole lot of stuff is better than
but it
Thanksgiving.
had the similar quality.
I mean, it did remind me a little bit of Thanksgiving, but like better production,
Better projection, better camera quality, better acting, and
better jokes.
better jokes and better location wise for sets. This had more set options than
Yes,
Thanksgiving.
but Thanksgiving did have some pretty good set options. Like a forest,
They put more
neighborhood.
effort. They put more effort in the third one than the first one for set options.
Yes. 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 So my entire mind just for some odd reason went straight to the guy in the truck. Um,
What? Ass, grass, or pass?
yes, for some odd reason, my mind just went straight there.
Why there, of
I don't know.
all scenes?
I don't know.
And that wasn't a truck, that was a car.
Was it?
It was a
Okay,
car.
I can remember. Um,
The fact that I remember that it's a car.
because that scene got you. You're dying at that scene.
That scene
Anywho,
and the fucking, oh, daddy. God, I hate that scene.
anywho, um,
God damn it. I'm
anywho.
on camera for this one.
So, yeah, this was definitely a low budget movie, but it was still fun.
Oh, it's another good, no, well-known, low budget. If you think the very first Sharknado, or maybe Tremors.
Okay, I have seen Tremors. I've not seen
So
Sharknado.
think Tremors, like low budget, the first one.
Yeah, I can see it.
That's close enough as you're gonna get.
Yeah. So at first I was kind of confused because like you've obviously seen this movie probably a few times. It sounds like.
This would have been my third.
Okay. So I was a little bit confused on how things will work in the beginning. Because at first I was like, okay, like are they super mutant type zombie or are they just regular zombies? Because they kept saying like well super soldiers. So like my mind went straight to like maybe like everyone else is just like regular infected,
Well,
and then like they're like some type of super mutant.
what I think is how they think they're super soldiers because of the Nick, the military guy. They were testing on soldiers,
Yeah, yeah,
so I can see where he lost his mind, like, "Oh, super serum" kind of thing.
yeah. Well, and then in Walking Dead, there was like in the later seasons, there was this thing called a variant zombie that can like run, climb,
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So like like are they some type of variant zombie that can do that?
I don't know the appropriate term of the zombies in this one. You probably have a better guess than I do.
What do you mean?
Well, you've seen more zombie stuff than I have.
But what do you mean by appropriate term? Like
Well, I don't know if these are like super zombies, mutated zombies. I don't
oh
I don't know. All I know is that they have super strength. They have I guess it would count as mutations since they
some
have like
type
that
of
green thing
they
going.
had some type of understanding. So
Yes.
yeah, so I would say they're like a variant zombie
What's
from
that one character from The Walking Dead that is bitten but he's still human?
so human.
Isn't there a character or am I thinking of a different zombie show where the guy is able to talk to zombies?
As far as I'm aware, nothing like that's in Walking Dead.
Okay, so I'm thinking of a different show.
Yeah. Um
Okay, how about this? The Last of Us. What's her name?
Ellie.
So think Ellie, kind of.
Yeah.
And not in a way of like, oh, I can talk to humans, but still be bitten. More of like, I'm
Yeah.
bitten, but I can talk to everybody, over the zombies.
No, I didn't really get that type of vibe. I got more like the variant zombie.
Okay.
So, actually, I am the latest book I wrote in my Walking Dead fan fiction thing
Mm-hmm.
was actually about variant zombies.
Ah, okay.
So, like how they can use rocks to break windows, open up doors, and stuff like that.
Their brains are growing.
Um, they'll
They're no longer one-celled brain cells.
basically, yeah. Um,
Basically, the brain has died. It's regrowing.
yeah. So someone, in the universe, someone like took some type of serum and made zombies smaller and stuff.
Hmm.
And it's very scary stuff. Very scary. Because, zombies aren't supposed to do that type of stuff. So,
Hmm.
so they obviously had some type of understanding
Yeah, but
inside this.
they weren't aware of it.
Well, they were aware of it. They weren't aware of what they were.
Correct.
Because, Sydney, I think her name is the blonde one. Um,
So
you good? You want to say a comment?
her character is so fucking stupid.
Honestly, not one of the stupidest characters I've seen in zombie movies, though.
No, she's not one of the stupidest ones I've ever seen, but she is. Her
Yeah,
character is stupid.
yeah, no, I've seen way stupid
Hey,
characters.
Kitty blew up.
As soon as I saw the cat, like she's gonna eat it. She's gonna eat
When
the
you said
cat.
her name, the blonde was like, that's the first thing that popped in my head. Is like, Kitty blew up.
As soon as I saw the cat, I was like, she's gonna eat the cat. Your wife would hate that scene.
Oh shit.
She would hate it. Um,
Oh my god.
but like so you wanted to go see her mom and dad, which didn't really end that well. But we're going to ignore that fact.
Well, when we start at the beginning, so basically this show's about, not the show, the movie is about, the government makes a serum. They try, it backfires. They tried to conceal it, and then it winds up infecting
You know what this reminds me of?
what?
It's a movie. It's called The Girl with All the Gifts. It's another zombie movie where the military are basically taking these kids and like I think if I remember, it's been a hot minute since I've seen it, but if I remember correctly, like all the kids are infected, but none of the adults are,
Okay.
and like they're just running these tests on the kids. It's a very interesting movie. I'll show you sometime.
It's like, I've never even heard of this.
Yeah. But it's like another one of those concepts where like the kids aren't always infected, so they can talk and stuff, and they can eat,
Okay.
and they can like go to classrooms and like learn like normal kids. But like every so often, they will be like zombies. Again, it's been a hot minute, so I'm probably explaining it awfully.
Yeah, you're going to have to look at the trailer and send it to me because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. I just saw you saw saying military doing zombie stuff. I'm like, wait.
Well, they weren't. They were trying to make a soldier serum,
Yeah.
basically trying to make Captain America, but it backfired.
Badly.
Yeah.
Very badly.
To where the soldiers starting to turn zombies, so they try to conceal the chemical. Wound up at a bowling alley.
Which also reminded me of Return of the Living Dead.
How so?
Just like the bells that the chemicals in. They're
Oh,
similar to the bells that are used for those movies.
it's common in every movie to like, oh, hazardous waste, Big Ten.
Well, I know, but like that just my brain was like, oh, that reminds me of Shaun of the Living Dead, another zombie movie.
Yeah.
And like even like I don't know, even there's some other things I can't think of on top of my head. We should probably also mention it is 8:50 at night.
Yeah, and we started this at like six something.
Yeah, no, it was like 7.
Yeah, and I've been pulling all nighters almost.
I was shocked you wanted to do this on Friday night. I off for the
I
weekend.
wanted to get it out of the way because I got plans tomorrow, so
I'm free Sunday too, but you didn't want to do Sunday.
that's iffy right now because I don't know if my wife wants to do a calm day or not. So
Gotcha. Katie can come here and do a calm day with my parents. She'll be down for that.
probably I'll talk it over with her, but no guarantee.
Okay, so it goes to a bowling alley and they make this ice cream.
We get to meet the characters, basically. Let's go back to that. We get to meet the characters. So we have
Well, we meet the characters after he makes the ice cream.
no, we meet the characters before he makes the ice cream.
I thought he made the ice cream, then like
He poured in the cream, and that was about it. And then we get to see all the characters. Then they
yeah,
go out and get the barrel.
the cream was the
Oh yeah, the cream was the infected shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
So they're making this ice cream with like some type of cream, heavy, probably just heavy
it's
whipping
just
cream.
it's a type of heavy cream.
Yeah, and
It's
then
used to make actual ice cream.
they put some beer inside it to make like an ice cream beer type thing
It's basically like a root beer float, except for the
with
beers
beer.
and ice
Yeah,
cream. I've had stuff like that before. It depends on your taste.
yeah, yeah.
If you do an ale, perfect. If you do an actual like Budweiser or
That would
whatever,
probably be gross.
it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yes, I know I'm a farmer guy, or not a farmer guy, but I'm a country guy that does not like that shit. I wonder what whiskey would actually taste like.
I don't know, 'cause I don't drink.
Not gonna lie, a whiskey float actually sounds pretty good right now. That or a rum float.
You do you. You do you.
I actually want to try that now. Gosh. Dude, you know what's funny is that before I even came over here, we actually went to the liquor store and I got some Strongbow. It's like Angry Orchard.
I'm gonna get a text like in 30 minutes saying like that was really good. I needed that.
Probably. But here's the thing, I don't have ice cream.
Good thing we live close to a store.
I'll get it tomorrow, but I am tempted to actually try it. No.
Aren't you having like coworkers over for dinner tomorrow?
I can get drunk. I'm
Oh, I was gonna say
I'm
get
gonna need
drunk
at
with
least
them.
I'm gonna need a dude. Ugh. Crown Royal ice cream.
Crown Royal ice cream.
Yeah.
What's that? I don't know Crown Royal. All I do is Blue Bunny or Perry Farms.
I'm not talking ice cream, I'm talking alcohol.
Oh.
Crown Royal, dude.
Okay, listen, it's not almost 9 o'clock at night. My brain has shut off.
My brain has switched to alcohol mode, okay?
I can tell. We're supposed to be talking about zombies,
I
not alcohol.
know, but the alcohol and ice cream seem. I'm not gonna lie, that actually does sound good.
So anyway, we meet the characters. There's Sydney, Mike, Vanessa. Shoot, we don't have the thing up.
No, we don't.
Okay, hold on.
You,
Let's. I
you were right so far. You just said the other name not too long ago.
I didn't say the main guy's name. Sydney, Vanessa, Mike. I don't remember them. I don't
And there's
remember.
Nick,
Yeah,
and then there's.
we haven't gotten to Nick yet. Calm
Is it
down.
Matt?
Those sheets. Gosh, we are professional. Um, Tim. That's his name. Tim.
You don't know what I just did.
No, I do not.
Okay, I am tired. I'm
I was.
slightly running on fumes to the point where you like we're professional. I look straight at the screen with a straight face, like, and look down. And, uh,
Ugh,
I need sleep.
second that. So, Tim. That was the name I forgot.
I think in total I am running on at least 5 hours in the past 2 days.
Okay, well, let's. So you can go home, get drunk, and go.
Okay.
Okay. So, um, so we meet all the characters. They're all kind of like this big fun group. Tim has a crush on Sydney. Vanessa and Mike apparently used to date, but that doesn't get revealed till later on in the movie.
Mike loves to create random meals like a hot dog with cheese, nacho cheese, and M&M. No, it wasn't M&Ms.
I think
Where's Reese's Pieces?
it was either it was something brown, so he's either M&M, Skittles, or Reese's
I
Pieces.
think it was Reese's Pieces.
I don't know. It was something.
There's at least three different shades of
Yeah,
color.
dude, I was so hungry when we saw this movie.
I know we had pizza and you scarfed it down.
It was tough.
Halfway through the movie, I ate all mine, but you just went straight for it.
I didn't eat all of mine.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, I had like one or two slices left.
Oh, I ate all mine.
Yeah, I put mine inside the cheese stick box
Ah,
because I didn't eat all those either.
remind me to take my breadsticks.
Oh well, if you don't eat, they're a half mile away.
True.
Um,
But yes, we get to meet the characters, and then
Tim brings out the ice cream, be like, hey, you guys, we need to try
well,
this.
It was Mike's idea to bring up the ice cream, but then he thought, oh, it would be nice to mix beer in it. So
Yeah,
they go grab one of the kegs outside, and then they filled it into the what would they call it?
blend or something.
No, it was like a weird name for an ice. It was another name for an ice cream.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's the type of machine that makes it.
Ice cream mixer.
No, they didn't call it that.
I don't know.
Well, you have ice cream, you have custard, you have malt, you have shakes. It's like one of those specific terms.
Oh, gotcha. I guess didn't hear that. Oh, heard it and just forgot.
Yeah, so they make it. It looks green. They don't. They brush it off.
They're like, oh, it's a lighting. I'm like,
It's the
listen,
lighting. Yeah.
Listen, if I get ice cream and it's green, I don't
I
call that
I
fun.
understand if they're like next to a neon light and it shines down on a green, but that's understandable.
Yes, but I would move away from neon light because my first
Oh, if
thought
you
would
move and
be,
it's still green, you're like, oh, that's a problem.
yeah, like my first thought is mold. I ate moldy ice cream once. I was at a
Why?
I was at a campsite and I got like an ice cream ball, so I just kind of thought didn't look, it wasn't green or anything. It was just like a piece of ice on it, but apparently it was mold.
That's disgusting.
It was, yes.
I've had that green ice cream before. You know,
Mint.
no, just green food color.
For
St.
green
Patrick,
eggs and
St.
St.
Patrick's Day.
Patrick's Day. My thought was maybe like green eggs and ham, like and maybe all the food was like green thing.
No, but I remember our daycare actually did that. Our
Um,
daycare dyed the eggs green and gave us green ham.
Apparently they used to do that at my daycare, like before I even started, but like none of the kids would eat the stuff.
I didn't eat it. Like I ate the ham because it was ham, but
I don't like deviled eggs.
I don't like eggs either. But it was weird how they served the eggs and it was all green. It was like, what the hell is this?
No, I like eggs. I don't like deviled eggs.
I don't like eggs in general.
I either like scrambled or omelets. I don't like anything else. I'm weird. So I have hiccups.
Dude, I'm more picky than you.
I know you all. I'm fully aware you all. Says the person who refuses to go to like Mexican food.
I'll go to Mexican, but I'm only get fajitas or tacos.
When I took you to Mexican with another friend, you got chicken wings.
Well, that's because I had it on the menu. I can't pass up wings, dude. You should know this. Wings are my favorite meal.
I know, but still. It's branch out, Hayden.
Okay, then I'll go grab a burger.
See what I have to deal with.
Give me a slimy, give me the whole half of a cow. I'll eat it.
Anyway, the movie. So they
Some
all
ribs
turn into
actually sound
zombies.
good,
What?
Ribs or rib
Rib
meat.
stew sound good. We need to go back to that one place.
Why you want brisket, don't you? I knew you were going to mention the brisket place.
What we do.
We do need to go back down there.
Yes, yes, we need to plan a day trip. So
During the summer when I actually have more free time.
yeah, well, no, like do some antique shopping, then go to that place, get some brisket.
Yeah, because after this month, I am going to be swamped with session.
As much as you will be in May.
Dude, have I not showed you my calendar?
No.
So everything that's red.
Okay, so that isn't. That's 2 weeks.
Yes, but still, look at this shit.
Yeah, that's May. I know about May.
It's still.
So yeah, you have session that week, then you have a week off, then you have it for like 3 days, then you have like 2 weeks off, session, week off, session, and
And
then
then hell.
and then May. It's just May.
Yeah, May's nothing but red.
Just May. Um, so they all turn and stuff, and they're like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, so basically how this movie starts, it's all black and white. The only color you see is basically the green liquid and the green ice cream. But once they eat it, or after they eat it, all of a sudden the whole world is color.
Which is very interesting how that concept.
See, if you, well, I think they're trying to play off of like the old zombie movies being black and white.
No, no. I don't hate the concept. It's
I
just
feel like it
like
should have been the other way. Don't you think?
no, no. I think they did it the right way.
All right.
Um, again, it did kind of remind me of Night of the Living Dead, which we really need to cover that movie.
Continue on to this one because we are getting very distracted. We have yet to even continue the first
Same.
half or scene.
Um, we can't make this 2 hours long.
No. Dude,
So,
we're almost to 30 minutes here.
oh my gosh.
Come on.
Okay, so they decide to go into town, and that's the whole cat scene.
Yeah,
because they almost run over the cat.
they were having one of the characters was having severe stomach pain to
Yeah.
the chemical, and then they like, oh yeah, let's just dry her.
Well, I took that as like maybe she was like really hungry.
You'd think, but it makes sense with the ice cream
Yeah.
hurting the stomach.
Yeah.
Because most of them weren't feeling well. Even the Mike was like, I'm still hungry. Because he was eating a brownie from over the
But
counter.
then he was like, that wasn't satisfying him, and he's like, I won't be choky.
Yeah, he was craving meat.
Yeah.
But when they start leaving to go to the hospital, uh, three of them get in the car. The one blonde girl's outside, tells them to stop because they're backing up and almost hit a cat. This is the scene that I was laughing at earlier, is because she's holding the cat, and the camera pans over from her holding the cat to the people in the car, and all of a sudden blood splatter on the window, and all you hear is Kitty blew up.
And again, as soon as she picked up that cat, I was like, she's gonna eat the cat.
You thought she was gonna eat it, but she squeezed it so hard that it blew up. And what's more messed up is that when after that happened and they cleaned her up, she goes like this. She tells Tim, "I kind of liked it."
I do think she ate some of it.
I probably, but
Yeah,
it was
I
weird.
do think she ate some of it. Because I think that's the whole. I kind of liked it.
But it's weird that that happened. That she just all of a sudden
Have you seen a movie? Have you seen this movie?
I know. But we also get introduced to Nick after that, and when we meet him, he's got a handlebar sticking out of his.
Well, they go to find some help.
Find a group of Mexicans.
Was it
It was
okay?
a Mexican gang, basically, just on a
Yeah.
car.
And then so we kind of see a different plan of them seeing them as zombies and the zombies seeing them as like humans,
Yeah,
basically. But Nick comes up and he's like, oh, we're super mutants, everyone else is infected but
but
us.
yeah, everyone's running at a faster pace, and we're just normal pace.
Yeah. Um, and then they go to like some type of ball.
They go to Shanks.
The thing I don't
Or
understand,
no, Jinx. It's Jinx.
Jinx. The thing I didn't understand was like some of the humans could understand them.
So do you want to explain that one?
Yes.
So alcohol is the whole key in this movie.
Oh,
Al
it's alcohol and dairy.
Dairy has nothing to do with it. It's the alcohol. The alcohol slows.
Wait, what did Nick have though? He did.
Nick thinks it's the dairy. It's not the
Yes.
dairy.
No, 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 I know, but Nick was like, "Oh, I had a
He had a hot fudge sundae before it
yeah,
happened, but it's not the dairy. The alcohol is what causes your brain to slow down, to process stuff slower.
yeah,
That's why their minds match the same pace. Because remember how when he got captured, his dad wired his brain to go speed faster
yeah,
for him to actually catch up and understand them. That's
yeah."
the whole difference.
Okay, okay. Um,
So basically, one of the people in the bar is very drunk, is able to understand the zombies because his brain is basically decaying from alcohol.
yeah,
That's the whole point.
and that's why they thought he was infected.
They thought he wasn't affected yet.
Yeah, yeah,
He was like, "Oh, he can talk to us."
yeah. Um, okay, that makes sense. I didn't make that connection while watching it.
Oh, I knew that one key factor of the movie because again, third time watching, but
Yeah,
still,
yeah. Um,
I did watch a little bit of a behind the scenes of it before I during work today.
oh, you did. Gotcha.
Uh-uh.
I don't know what was behind the scenes on this one.
This is it's a study. It's not really behind the scenes. It's basically what we're doing.
Gotcha. Um, okay.
This is stuffy.
There's no Kleenexes over here.
No, it's good.
Okay. So there's some over there on the table. I know that much. So they go and well, they split up after that.
Well, yeah. After that, they go to a park first to go their separate ways, but they're like all trying to figure out like what's going on.
Yeah,
And then what's her name and Tim decide to go to her parents' house,
Sydney.
Sydney, and Mike and
Vanessa.
Vanessa had an interview, so Mike went with her,
Yeah,
and
and
Nick decided to go to the military
yeah, and the interview is at the guy's house
at 9 o'clock at night.
at like 9 o'clock at night.
Who has an interview?
A pervert.
Well, obviously, we know he's a pervert, but I
Yeah.
just saying, like,
Oh, I hate
who in the right mind has an interview at 9 o'clock at night?
and accepts it.
I mean, what? Well, hold on. Technically, you can't have an interview at night if it's like a night job. And no, I'm not talking about sleeping around.
I wasn't even thinking. My mind wasn't even going that route.
You
Your mind was.
you have grave shifts, you have security, you have
Yeah.
prostitutions, you have strippers,
Again, your mind was going that route. But see, like some of those interviews may not happen at night. They may still happen during the day.
possibly, or
So,
they might have it at night.
but it was at the guy's house.
I know one person that had their security job, not towards night, but like at sunset,
Gotcha.
and
But not at the guy's house.
not the guy's house. No, it was at an actual business place. But no, no one I never met has ever had like, oh yeah, let me go to an interview at the guy's house.
Yeah. No. No. If you apply for a job and they want to meet at a house,
What if it's a
they,
caretaker?
okay, if you want to apply for an actual business job
Yeah, an actual job, not sleep your way up the chain job.
and it's at someone's house, the answer is no. Because few things could happen. They could kill you or they could rape you.
Yeah. But if it's an actual legit job, that makes more sense. But with her job, no.
Yeah. No, it was like a caretaker job. Yeah, the house
Yeah, if it's a
wouldn't
caretaker
exist.
job.
But like an actual like this, she was like what, a loyal or something. She was, I think, studying
Crime.
law.
It was a crime something.
Yeah, it was like something to do with law, basically.
Which what law person sleeps with? And again, this movie takes place in California, so I'm not surprised.
Well, it's also like 2000, like early 2000s.
I think it was 02.
Yeah, I thought it was awful. Hold on,
It could be 02 or 04.
hold on. I have it written down. 2007. We were both
Oh
wrong.
wow, you're wrong. So this came out when we were in basically elementary school almost.
Yeah.
No, we
Hey,
were eight.
you know what would be helpful if we had this up on the
No,
screen.
if we were both. You said 2007, so we would have been.
October 16th, 2007.
So we would have been 10 years old. So we technically would have been either elementary or intermediate school.
Probably intermediate school because it was
Either third grade or fourth grade. This was going through my mind.
yeah. Um
We're talking about her sleeping with the guy.
okay, yeah. I'm just gonna talk about those scenes and then we'll go to
Yeah, we'll go over to the other guy.
yeah, because they kept switching back and forth. So anyway, he's kind of rambling on like oh, I like everyone to be within a family type thing, blah blah. Blah. Like he just gave me the biggest creeps.
Well, yeah, he's playing the cards, basically trying to be like sleazy about it,
Yeah,
and he thinks like he's coming on to him.
yeah, and she's not. She's trying to eat him.
Well, zombie version is we don't know what the in her head version was.
We never saw that, and that's something I did notice. While watching, is we never actually saw
Her
her
point
point
of
of view.
view. Yeah. Because imagine she could have been walking around trying to be sexy when really
Yeah.
she's actually just walking around moaning and trying to eat him.
Um, and so like he runs away and hides underneath the bed, and of course there's a sex doll. I think I even made a comment. I was like, of course he has a sex
Yeah.
doll.
And he's trying to make less noise and then the thing squeaks and then she finds him.
Yeah, and promptly eats him, kills him. And
But
I
we
was,
don't know that. That part was never shown.
it was implied.
It was probably implied because the doll did come out bloody.
Yeah, no, I think it was. In my mind, he's dead.
But it's kind of funny that she brings it out like, oh, he's such a perv. He had a sex doll, that kind of thing.
And like throws at Mike and just walks away.
And he goes like, oh, I hate blondes. Or blondes are not my type.
And then it cuts over to Sydney and Mike.
Who
No,
are trying,
Sydney and Tim.
yeah, who are trying to see Sydney's parents.
Yeah. And I really like those two. I really like those two. I just honestly, all the characters in this movie was very likable.
Before we go anywhere, I'm gonna out of all the characters, I will admit the only one I don't like. I'm blocking this for this. The only one reason why I don't like them, I don't like Sydney, and not
Wow.
because of the cat, not because of how stupid she is. Who does she look like?
I don't know. I could see it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see it. But like looking past that,
Looking past that, I love her character,
yeah, like I think all the
but the way she
characters,
looks, it reminds me of that person.
I could see it. But like I said, like to me, all the characters are very likable. I like they all like have really good qualities
Oh yeah, that.
as characters.
They just play this two stupid blondes. That's all they do. Tim and Sydney are like the two stupid blondes.
See, they'll. I wouldn't even say they're stupid. They're just unaware of the surroundings. Like they don't read the situations
No,
correctly.
no, they don't. Because there's one scene, and I'm skipping ahead, but there's one scene where they're all trying to figure out how to distract them. And Tim says, "Let's shoot a signal flare." And what's her name says, "Tim, do we have a signal flare?" No,
But I thought someone would.
but I thought somebody would, and that's like the most. Why mine would have a signal flare at this point in time?
That's not even the scene I want to talk about, but we're gonna get to that one. The scene I want to talk about is the one with him and the mom and dad.
Oh, yeah. So keep going.
I love that they just like come up from the like hiding spot and like start shooting him, and he just goes back to sitting and be like, "Give me a minute. I think we're working our way through this."
We're making progress.
What?
He's unaware that they're trying to kill him,
I'm like, oh my gosh.
and he just goes back into the room and just starts talking to them.
And like it's such a sweet moment.
It is sweet because from his point of view, it's a very sweet moment. But from the parents' point of view, it's probably like, "Dear Lord, there's a zombie in our room."
That looks like someone we know.
Yeah,
But like so he's like trying to stumble through his words and like ask permission to date their daughter,
which is Sydney.
which is Sydney. Um and it's like such a sweet moment. And
Well, yeah,
it's
because
like
he's
this
trying to, from his like, I know you're old fashioned. I'll do like the old fashioned. I would like to see your daughter. Basically, it's like wrong time and place, dude.
Cause then it's like a day earlier where you're still like human.
Yeah,
Um and so they throw dynamite at him. But you know what? We forgot that he to say he was decaying. His hair game?
he was scalped. He peels off his hair
Yeah. So he peels off his hair as a side effect from the
from the serum,
yeah.
which is causing his body to decay and erode.
Yeah.
So he grabs from the back of his head. He's like, it itches or I'm losing hair, and he just scalps himself.
Yeah. So Sydney like puts it back on and so when the dynamite blows up, like all that's left is his scalp.
Yeah, his scalp just goes flying across, hits the wall. He picks it up and starts crying, like, "Oh my god, my friend's dead."
And he comes out
Unharmed or unscathed, besides minor shots.
and again doesn't read the situation and just looks at Sydney and
You know what
says,
we forgot to talk about? Mike eating brains.
okay, we'll get there in a second. We didn't talk about that entire ball scene at all.
No, we didn't.
Um, but he comes out and was like, listen, your mom and dad are dead, but I think your dad gave me permission to date you.
There was a smile and twinkle in his eye as he threw the dynamite. Like, no, he was happy that he's throwing the dynamite at a zombie and
Oh
winning.
my gosh.
Not, oh, he's got a there's a zombie.
Ugh. I just, I love scenes like that. That was just so stupid,
It is so stupid. And then
but it works.
so this next scene is the scene I was talking about. I want to make sure that you caught it, where they're kissing after he's told her that, and he was like, "Oh,
Yeah. No, I made a comment.
okay, good."
I made a comment. So the way he introduced me to this movie was a week ago from yesterday. So that would be like last. It was like a Thursday night. We got dinner and stuff,
Yeah,
and we were just talking about like maybe upcoming stuff to do for the podcast.
yeah.
And you're like, oh, we should do Aaah Zombies or Wasting Away or something like that. I'm like, okay, sounds interesting. He's like, yeah, there's a scene, well, Dick falls off, and he's like, is this supposed to happen? I'm like, okay, I'm sold, because that sounds amazing. So Sydney and Tim basically
Try to have sex.
try to have sex. Maybe succeeded a little bit, but Tim's dick falls off, and
When they meet up with his friends after, they're acting all cute and cuddly, and his best friend looks at him. Mike looks at him and was like, "It's about time that you two got together."
yeah, because those been comments throughout the entire
Like
movie, like
10
you two need
years.
to like date.
Yeah, 10 years they've been friends and they haven't once dated, kind of thing. And when they split up like girl talk, boy talk, the girl, Cindy tells, what's her name again?
Vanessa.
Vanessa. Vanessa's like, well, did you guys do it? And you're like, we did, but it fell off. Or he didn't finish all the way. I don't know.
Something like that, and like Tim and Mike were talking, and Tim's like, I didn't finish or something. And it's like, oh, that happens to me. It's like, that's even happened to me. Like, it's just like those jitters. Like, it's happened to you? Is that normal? He's like, what normal? I don't want to say.
She's like, I'm just a flop, not it falling off. He's like, what fell off? He's like, I don't want to talk about it. And covers up his area.
It's just so fucking stupid. But it works so well for this type of movie.
See,
Oh, I love it. I love it.
you're gonna watch it again, aren't you?
Someday I will, yes. Someday I will. Um, okay, we need to go back to the ball scene that we completely skipped.
Yeah, so we go to a bar where first, uh, this is after Tim gets scalps himself.
Yeah.
They go into the
But
bar.
before they split up and like do
Yeah.
the interview and house thing.
So they go in with the drunk guy, and he's like, I need a round of drinks for my friends. They come in, everybody freaks out. The guy behind the counter comes up with a shotgun, and then one of the other guys grabs a katana off the wall.
Mm.
So he charges at Mike, cuts off his hand. Tim gets shot. Tim's on the ground, and Mike's just like, huh? And then Vanessa grabs the katana, kills the bartender,
Yeah.
and during the whole scene, we find out that Tim comes back to life. He's trying to tell them the
Well,
girls.
he didn't really come back to life because he,
Well, he came back up,
yeah.
and Nick's trying to tell him like you're all super soldiers, all this random shit. But as
Ooh.
oh, is that you?
Yes.
Or was it a cat?
That was me because you kept picking me.
I
So
haven't even moved my foot. My foot
something.
has been the same position it's been the entire time.
Maybe your leg kept kicking me then.
Maybe. But
I have both feet up right now. Okay, I don't want to talk about it.
as they're talking, um, Mike goes over to the bartender and starts picking brain out of his hair and starts eating it. And this is the guy who makes random food and eats it, and he goes like, "It tastes really good. I never had brain before." And everyone's questioning like, "What is wrong with you?" And he's just still eating it.
Yeah.
And then he all of a sudden controls his hand that was cut off and starts walking across the table
Yeah.
like Thing from Adam's Family. And then before they leave, he makes a brain margarita.
It's, I was eating during that scene, and that scene was rough. I don't. I can handle that type of stuff. But for some odd reason, that was a rough scene.
With the brain margarita.
Yes,
Like
because
it was red.
I don't know, but that was also right after they talked about the mucus
Oh
and
yeah.
how the ice cream like looked like a green mucus type thing, and
Green tastes like mucus.
yes, and I was like, as I'm taking a bite of pizza, I'm like,
Imagine if he had a cold and you're just hacking up mucus and then he says that.
it just bothered me so much how they said it because it's so casual too.
Anyways, after we come back to them being back up,
No, back at the bowling alley.
and they don't want to go in because there's a whole bunch of people in there and they don't know if at this point they still don't know that they're zombies. Oh, we forgot to talk about Nick.
Oh yeah, so Nick is at the base and he gets caught very unsurprisingly because he loses his finger. And
And he gets found out, and then he's in a locker when he gets found out, and he starts saluting, and then they go like tasing. But we find out that the only way that you can communicate with the zombies, or basically them, is turning up their brain frequency to a higher speed rate,
no, feet down quickly.
so that way they can talk. Because apparently, when you're a zombie, your brain is slower, which is where the alcohol comes in.
Yeah. So after that, he gets caught, and then for whatever reason, and this guy comes in because like the two main people leave,
It
the
was the
doctor
security
and
coming in to shoot him.
yeah, but like he's holding his gun like this,
He's basically holding it up.
yeah, and like walking over to him, and like Nick obviously attacks. I'm like, what are you doing? You have a gun.
Well, he might have just came in to try to de-escalate or hold him down, not like, oh, I need to point and shoot. No, he literally just comes in holding his gun.
Yeah, but I'm like, have the gun ready to point and shoot then. Because if he tries to escape, you can boom.
But they show Nick in the mirror that he's an actual zombie,
Yeah.
not a super soldier.
And even the meal is black and white. I thought it was a really cool detail.
Yeah, and
I don't think there's ever been a more appropriate like it
yeah, but you're not, they can't really see it except for like The Walking Dead for like right here.
fight to the feel the living. Um
Hmm.
it's also like freezing in the basement tonight.
I'm starting to crash, so we're gonna have to pick it up.
Okay. So after that they go to back
They-
to the bowling alley
Yeah,
and they
everyone's
go
still
in
drunk.
well the owner
You know,
finds Tim
yeah,
and gets upset. And then so they bring in the Bill cake kills
the cakes.
cakes.
Which is funny at the beginning, they took two of them to carry them in, and now that they're zombies, they each have one in their hands, like thrown
You know,
over the shoulder.
when I was watching, I was like, when I was watching, I was like watching that. I was like, what is that made out of? For them to be able to do that,
It would have to be an empty one, because if that thing is full, that thing is fucking heavy.
but it was probably like made out of like some type of like plastic or like cardboard type thing. Just
No, I think it would have to be empty. You can lift up an empty cake.
okay, okay,
If it's full, you can, unless you have like there's like a smaller version of a cake, I can't remember what it's called. But those ones you can pick up by yourself, or
gotcha.
or a mini one, like you can pick those up.
No, I was just thinking it was like maybe like made out of like plastic or something.
No, those look too real to be fake.
Um, so they go in, put it down, and they like try to leave. But then like some guy who has a crush on Sydney stops them and they end up having like
He tries to hit on her.
and Tim doesn't like that because now they're dating and Mike's like, okay, let's have a competition of a bowling thing.
Mm.
Bowling contest. And so those they start bowling, people getting drunk and stuff.
Well, Vanessa and Cindy start getting everyone drunk to
Yeah.
keep them from winning.
Well, keep them from winning, keeping them from discovering
Yeah,
that they're zombies.
yeah. But at this point,
Um,
they still don't know that they're zombies.
yeah. And so They end up running out of Beal, and they,
All of a sudden start coming sober.
yeah. Which I was like, okay, that's way too fast
No,
for that
because
to happen.
your body had went on not digested the
Yeah,
beer that quick.
yeah. No, that was way too fast, but whatever. That's fine. It's a movie.
But towards the end, when they all of a sudden realize, not Tim, Mike bowls and his hand comes off, that one that got cut off because he duct taped it back on. It's still attached to the bowling ball as it's rolling down. It
And
gets
it was also on the last one too,
yeah,
because they're like, one more strike and we win.
he gets a 9 out of 10. The hand comes off the ball, crawls over, and just pushes it over.
So people start coming to and realize like, oh, something's wrong with those people.
Hmm.
They don't look human.
Yeah.
And like everyone starts fighting. At one point, Mike's head gets cut off.
Yeah, it doesn't show what happens to his body, just says head gets cut off.
Yeah, I was questioning that the rest of the movie. Mind you, there's only like what, like 30 minutes left of the movie at this point.
Granted, yeah.
Because this was right after the scene with the music
Hmm.
sound cut off for like 30
I
seconds.
think it has to be a YouTube thing, like they just
Yeah,
blocked it because of copyright.
no, I most likely. Um, so Mike's head gets cut off, and then
Rolls down the lane.
rolls down there and gets a strike, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, it does.
And then Nick comes in, and
Vanessa's like, so what's it like in there? You don't want to know.
yes, Nick comes in and saves them and stuff, and like it just cuts to like everyone being dead besides our main group.
Yeah.
And then Mike's head's just like on a table.
And then they turn everybody else into a zombie by
Yeah.
giving them ice cream.
And then they're like, what if we go like make a zombie town?
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah. Um, so they have to deal with the military because the military's like all over the place looking for them.
Basically, the whole town is freaking out because the zombies are out. Because
Yeah.
everyone else along the way, we didn't mention, they start killing random people, which, spreads to more zombies.
Yeah. Well, in this one, we don't know if bites cause the infection. Because,
Yeah,
like,
they didn't.
everyone, like, that turned was through the ice cream machine.
That is true. Yeah, you're right. I don't think they ever showed like someone getting bit.
Because, like,
No,
everyone who
because if you look
died
at
in
the
the.
general towards the end, he's got a scratch on his face, and he didn't turn.
Yeah.
So it's got to be the ice cream,
Yeah. Or the serum,
the serum.
basically.
Yeah,
Um, because, like, everyone in the bowling alley, this is when I realized it. Everyone in the bowling alley, when they died, like, most likely some of them died through bites or scratches.
possibly,
And none of
or
them
just
turned.
bowling balls to the head.
Yeah. Well, like not all of them bite or scratches, but like there had to be at least one or two like get bit.
Yeah,
So I'm just kind of an interesting twist on the whole zombie thing.
yeah. After that, they go to the military. They find a truck. And they're like, okay, everyone's got to play dead. We're already dead. And it was a zombie driving a truck.
And the guy like stops them, does a checkpoint thing,
Jabs
and
them with the gun.
yeah, hits them with the gun, and he hits like Nick and sitting like reacting stuff, trying not to. Or like I think Tim like made some noise. I think I said Nick. I keep saying Nick.
It's Tim. Tim
So
and
yeah, Tim. And they keep going, and the Mike's head like bounces off and comes off the thing, which then Mike sacrifices himself, which was kind of dumb.
yeah, because the only two functioning parts is his head and his hand.
But like again, where's his body?
We still don't know where his body is. They don't even show it in the bowling alley.
Yeah,
But at this scene where he quote unquote sacrifices himself, he's got a grenade in his mouth. And everyone else is trying to run away, and military's coming out. He has a hand that moves. Give the
yeah,
grenade to his hand, and he could pull the pin.
yeah. So
Instead, he's trying to open it with his mouth, as the pin's nowhere near capable of coming out.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna question that scene. I wanted to, but I wasn't. So they go to the military base. Oh no, they go back to the truck, and they're like, Mike didn't make it. I guess Mike was kind of like the leader at that point.
Yeah,
And Nick, I think of his name. I want to call him Tim again. Nick was like, Mike's dead, but follow me, and I'll lead you to like the zombie town type thing.
yeah.
And so they stormed the military base to get the military off the back.
No, then it's the blockade is what they charge at, not the base. It's the blockade.
Okay. I don't know. The two main military people were there,
Yeah, the general and the scientist were
so I
there.
thought it was the main base,
No,
but I
it
guess
was the
it was.
blockade because that's their checkpoint to make sure, basically, their point of view of cutting off the town from
Yeah.
civilization,
Oh yeah.
which is
So
quote unquote code for isolation, isolating
yeah.
certain areas.
So they oh, yeah.
Believe me, I'm almost there.
um
But that's the point where we find Tim saying the whole line. Does anybody got a flare?
yeah. So that's Tim saying, "Do we have a fail?"
No. When have we ever had a chance to have a flare with us?
And then Nick sacrifices himself, which I thought was kind of dumb.
I mean, he went out there and pretty much got all their attention.
Yeah, but I was like, don't sacrifice yourself after this guy just sacrificed himself.
Yeah, but he didn't want to split up the group.
Yeah.
But what's funny is that this general and the scientist are main characters in this movie, and Nick is constantly stalking them to the point where earlier he went to a Mexican restaurant, dressed up as a waiter, managed to walk around and serve people while being a zombie, and then once everybody knows that there's a zombie, he goes like, "Huh?" and drops everything.
Um.
But in this scene, you see the general realize it's like there's still brain, there's still a person in this body. We
Yeah.
gotta study this.
Yeah. Um. I thought he was going to die though, but he did not.
No, because
So
remember the scientist did shoot his head, and nobody shot his head.
yeah. But no, I just thought they were going to kill him like that.
And when you would think decapitating a zombie, like the head would not work.
No, there's plenty of cases in Walking Dead where someone
In
took out.
Walking Dead, but there's other things where they
Yeah.
say decapitate or remove the brain or
No.
destroy the brain.
No. Well, I see. For me, that what I'm trying to say is like Walking Dead. It's very understandable that decapitation
Yeah,
doesn't work. You have to kill the brain
yeah.
basically. Um. So the group escapes into Zombie Town, and then it cuts to Nick, um, being tortured basically.
Yeah, he's back to be on the slab where
Yeah.
they mess with his brain frequency.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're going to torture you to figure out what makes you tick, kind of thing.
And like my thing was like I really liked the movie, but the ending,
And he makes you think there's more going to happen.
yeah, it makes it feel like there's gonna be a sequel. And obviously it's not a sequel as far as well.
Not that I recall.
And that kind of stinks, like, it would be kind of cool to, see Nick rejoin the group and um like, them taking back, the military and stuff, like, and fighting back. But obviously that doesn't happen. But one can dream.
What's funny is that when they're at the town, you see Tim and Sydney walking around holding hands, and then
Yeah.
what's her name? Keep forgetting her name.
Vanessa?
Vanessa is like trying to sew something on a chair,
Yeah.
and then the rest of the group, there's two people that picked on Tim in the beginning, trying to throw what looks to be either a frisbee, a plate, or something at each other, and he just picks it up and starts eating it.
Um, so it's funny. So, I do have the behind the scenes stuff for these.
Mm-hmm.
And for some odd reason, I have a Five Nights at Freddy's movie one made. And so I was, like, okay, you know what? After I got done doing all zombie spreadsheet, I'm like, I may as well do the Five Nights at Freddy's one. And there was another character in that one called Vanessa.
Oh,
So I
that
think that's
Vanessa, yeah.
so I think that's why my brain like I can remember Vanessa.
Freddy, you should be on lockdown. Vanessa.
Oh, we need to do that movie so badly.
You know what's funny? I just saw a meme about the other day where it's Vanessa talking to the kid in that game, and he's like, "Why don't you go up to front so I can give you a prize?"
So I just watched Security Breach for the first time last weekend.
Seriously?
I for some odd reason I could never get into it. And so
Who did you watch that played through it?
Mark,
It took you till now to get through it?
yes. Um so I finally just got done with it. It took me like all weekend to do it.
I'll admit there are some points where it gets like a little like, oh, it's the same routine stuff, but it does get better towards the end.
No, I just could never make it past the second episode, and I finally did. I don't know why it took me so long. It just
No.
did. Um, yeah, I just finished Mark's playthrough. And then I'm gonna watch Pop Playtime
Hmm.
though tonight and probably tomorrow.
I still have that one clip of just Vanessa talking to the kids saying, go up to the front so I can give you a gift. And Freddy's like this, Vanessa, what are you trying to do? Seduce? He's a kid.
Oh, Friday Night Game was so funny. I loved it so much. Like, it's...
Or he's trying to say, Freddy, where are you? Freddy just walks right past. Uh,
Oh, there's so many moments in the inside his series where he's like, Freddy, come here. And like, Freddy just like, oh, it's past. He was like, no, Freddy, come back.
it's like, I need to be inside you so that way I can be safe. And Freddy just goes like, nope, I'm going to walk right past.
Oh, I don't think there's any other comments we have for this
No,
movie.
at this point, I am ready to go to bed.
Me too.
And I got to
I,
drive home.
oh, you live a half mile away. Oh
Sure.
my God. All right, this has been Two Idiots Talk All. Oh, my heel's still up.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone. No, this is Graveyard Shift. Go to Idiots Talk All. Good night,
Do
everyone.
we have one normal ending?
Listen, I have more normal endings than you have intros.
I
I
can't.
don't want to hear
I couldn't help this time I yawned. Okay.
it. I think you do on purpose. I really do. You could.
Did you hit stop? No, you didn't hit stop.